Hi, this is Mickey Sunshine Creates, and I'm Mickey. Merry Christmas to everyone who's here and who celebrates Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, though it is past already, and Happy Kwanzaa, though I think it's coming up. But whatever, happy holidays. We're here because we want to keep you company, and you have a chance to go and look at a whole bunch of basically whipping chats, one after another. And if I can, which I probably can, I will be in the chat with you and be able to chat. You could listen or you could chat. It doesn't matter. A lot of you know me already. You know how crazy I am, how silly I am. And I am silly. I can't help it. It's just me. My humor is very sarcastic. I laugh at my own jokes. I think I'm funny. Hey, you I have to get my laugh somewhere. So, I try to make myself laugh. Anyway, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backtrack about me and what I've been doing for the last 3 years. Just because, yeah, I don't do much. I don't go out. I don't have adventures. I don't work because I'm both disabled and retired, whatever that means. I was disabled and getting disability, and then as soon as I turned 65, they switched me over to regular Social Security and called me retired. So I don't know which one to say. Either way, I am still disabled. So I don't walk much. I don't go around outside much. I am loving the people I have met here on YouTube, my subscribers, the other creators. I've made a lot of friends. Maybe not a lot of close friends, but I have made a lot of friends people that I like and I enjoy talking to and I enjoy listening to. And it's been really nice for me, especially since before I discovered diamond painting and YouTube, because it was kind of simultaneous, almost. I would knit and cross stitch and stay in my bed and watch TV, occasionally read, and I wouldn't go anywhere. I didn't do anything. I didn't have any friends. I had one friend, and because of COVID, of course, we couldn't get together for a long time. So, in fact, the lockdown for us came the week of my birthday. We were supposed to go out that Friday night, and we canceled because neither one of us wanted to take a chance. We're both over 65. We both, didn't want to I didn't want to take a chance of having to go on a respirator in the hospital. I mean, life may not be great, but it's better than nothing. See, I told you about Affiliations. So as I said, I was knitting. I had stopped crocheting for a number of years, but I was knitting. I had taught myself to knit, and I was cross-stitching a lot. I've got a number of, what do they call them? Where you work on them and they're wood and whatever. I have a terrible memory, by the way. My memory is shot. Probably because I have fibromyalgia on top of everything else. But I digress. Let's go back to the beginning. A little bit about me. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. Stayed in Brooklyn for a while, moved to Long Island where I joined a band. And I sang up and down the East Coast for about a year and a half. I got married. 5 months later, I wanted a divorce because I will not allow a man to hit me. You do once and you're out. So I didn't know who he was at the time, when I married him, and I found out, and that was that. So I moved into with my mother in New Jersey. I've worked a lot of jobs. But I was working at Saks Fifth Avenue when I met this security guard, and he and I started going out, and everything was great. And I decided I'm going to move down to Florida. So I packed up my 1976 Mercury Marquis station wagon. Oh my God, what a boat. That thing was awful. I got 7 miles to the gallon. That's a memory I will never forget. 7 miles to the gallon. And my mattress is on top of the car, the station wagon, and we just headed down to Florida. That was on June 6th, 1976. I will never forget. These are things that really stuck in my memory, which is amazing because I've lost a lot of memories. Eventually he moved out, and we broke up. He moved out. I got my own place, and I moved here, and then I moved there, and I moved around a bit because at one place where I met my second husband, my apartment had been broken into, and I didn't want to stay there anymore, so I got another apartment. But the rent goes up too high. You got to go find something else. Anyway, I got married again in 1980. What? I don't know. I can't remember, like I said. In 1981, and things were fine for a while. He was very controlling. By then, I had, shortly after I moved to Florida, not long, in fact, less than a year, I became a legal assistant, legal secretary, we called ourselves back then. And as a legal assistant, I took a year and kept changing jobs for more money. And by the end of the year, I had doubled my salary from when I began, which was, at the time, it was really nice. At the time, I was making $350 a week, and that was a lot. That was good money. Not great, but it was good money. Not as good as singing paid me. That paid me nicely, but I digress again. I do that often. I don't know. Anyway, this is all about me anyway. Where was I? Legal assistant. Okay, so my then husband, Joe, and I bought a house in North Miami Beach, and it was very convenient because I was like 3 blocks away from my attorney's office, and I was there for quite some time. And in 1986, I got into an accident. A pretty bad one. We were on vacation in Sanibel Captiva, which is on the west coast of Florida, and it looks over there just like the Bahamas, but it's not. It's America, but it looks just like the Bahamas, with luscious coconut trees and bushes and beautiful beach. The beach on the Gulf the sand is so soft. It really is nice. We went over there several times. This time, we were staying, we usually stayed at Twin Waters Inn, which is a little inn in Captiva, which is between, there was I don't know what you call it, an inlet, a lake, and then the Gulf. And there was just enough room for a few inns and restaurants along this way, and beach what you call on that side. There was also a beach on the other side, but it was just a wonderful, beautiful, peaceful place. In 1986, we decided, let's stay at the resort at the end of the island, Captiva. Sanibel is first, Captiva is second. So we stayed. This now, understand, most of this, what I'm going to tell you, was told to me because I don't remember. I do remember we stayed at the resort. I do remember we went out. We rented scooters. We were there for a week. We rented scooters. We went boating. We went hiking. We went around looking, viewing lighthouses and just taking in the sights. Some great food on the islands. Really good. I love the bubble room. I don't know if it's still there. It might be. A very, very good place. So I remember going to sleep on Thursday night, and we had decided we were going to go boating again. Do a little fishing, because I love to fish. That's what we had decided. I remember that distinctly. I don't remember anything else until I woke up Saturday in the hospital. Yeah, that's when I finally remember. I had woken up before, but I remember waking up in the hospital. And Friday, and most of Saturday, was completely gone. I mean gone, wiped out. Apparently what had happened is we rented scooters instead, which I know was my husband's idea. Because I like the scooters, but I preferred boating. I preferred fishing. It gave you something to do other than just ride around. According to him and other witnesses, we had been tooling down Captiva Road heading for Sanibel. And right between the two islands, there's a little bridge, and there's a public beach there. We'd been there a couple of times. And I was driving right down. Now, these scooters don't go very fast. Maybe 35 miles an hour tops, because they've all got governors on them so that people don't, they're all tourists who rent them. And they don't want people to get in accidents. So I'm wearing a helmet. I'm tootling along, probably not going more than 30 miles an hour. According to him, he was far on the right side of the road behind me, and I was in front of him, almost in the middle. And a car came up, and instead of honking her horn, she decided she's going to go around me. Well, she forces me off the road, and I'm not an experienced two-wheel driver, motorcycles or scooters. She forces me off the road. I hit an 18-inch deep pothole, lose control, and what I should have done was throw myself off the bike. I didn't. I ran into a concrete post because the railing and the concrete post, the railing had been bent back from a previous accident, and my tire went right in between, and my right side hit the concrete post, and I flew off the back of the bike. Landed on my back. I had a concussion. Yeah. I then was, flown to the hospital, and I barely remember my stay there at all. Apparently, they told my husband at first, we don't think she's going to make it, because my heart did stop at one point, and they had to defibrillate me. And he was going, no, you don't know her. She's going to be fine. She's going to be fine. And he told me I would wake up. I'd ask what happened. He'd tell me. I'd say, I'm sorry, and go back to sleep. I have no idea what I was apologizing for. And this was my accident. This accident screwed up everything for me at the time. I had a lot of injuries. Nothing broken except for my head. I had 5 basilar skull fractures and a blowout fracture on my right eye, and my jaw was dislocated. They had to push it back. And I had to wear this stupid thing for a while. But I had brain damage because of it. My IQ dropped down to 70. I couldn't remember things. They called it bizarre amnesia. I have no idea what it means, but it's probably because it's very bizarre what memories disappeared. It's spotted. It's here and here and here. It's back, my childhood. It's part of my teen years, part of my young adulthood. I don't remember a lot of things. I can't, even when prompted, I can't remember them. But I worked, he and I, my ex and I broke up because he was very controlling, and he thought after a year, ooh, I should be fine. No, not the case. Instead, I divorced him and moved up to Broward, which is in another county. I stayed with my uncle for a while, and then finally moved into a townhouse I rented, and that was fine. I got into computers, and I even built my own computer, and I made friends internationally because of that computer, which was that was cool. Before the internet, we used to run BBSs, bulletin board systems, and people would call in on 1 or 2 lines, whatever you had, and they would send messages back and forth to each other around the world, just like we do now. But it was different. We'd have to call in the middle of the night and transfer a packet of messages, and then pick up a packet of messages to distribute to our people, and if you were a distribution fund, to other hubs and bulletin boards around. And it was a lot of fun. I made a lot of friends. I did have a boyfriend that I had moved in with, and we didn't work out. And I used to have seizures in the morning because of the brain damage. I had a lot of seizures. And they used to occur when I'd wake up. Nobody knew why. And anti-seizure medicines didn't really work much. So, and that's one of the reasons I was late for work all the time, because, and my backtracking, the attorney I was working for, I had insurance and disability. I had a great policy. And he talked me into coming back part-time, which was a big mistake, because I lost my insurance and I lost my disability. Yeah, then he fired me for being late when we had agreed, I could come in whenever, work 4 hours, and leave. So I had to fight him on unemployment. It was just that I remember. I can't forget. That was a terrible time. Yeah, I got pissed at that. But I decided to buy the townhouse because we had rented with the option to buy. So I decided to buy the townhouse, and I bought it, and my boyfriend moved out. I bought it in my name, not his. And my boyfriend moved out, and I met another guy. We met online through the bulletin board system and the FidoNet, the mail thing. He was one of the developers of one of the programs that we used, and he lived all the way down in South Miami. But he would come up to me to visit, and we'd go out, and we'd go here. We were friends. We became very good friends. Then we became lovers. And then we got married. And you would think things would be great. They were for a long time. We worked together, you know. The issue I had with him was he was not very good with money, and he would take money out of the bank without telling me, so I couldn't balance the books, and the mortgage didn't get paid, and the electric didn't get paid, and it was constantly going off. It was a mess. It was a mess. So we had to move. The house was foreclosed upon, and we had to move. So we moved. And that was that. Now, I might click off for a little bit and take a break, but it's going to be seconds for you, so I'll be right back. All right, let's get back to me. I'm going to make a very long story kind of short, because this is, I don't know, I'm giving you my history, and it's probably boring, at least for me, because I've repeated this so many times already. Anyway, we got married, we lost the house, we moved up to Coconut Creek, which is North Broward, and we had the most beautiful apartment. I mean, he had his son with him. So it was a 1,600 square foot apartment, 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Oh my God, I loved it. It was so airy and open and yeah, it was really nice. And I was able to keep all my crochet yarn, because at that time I was crocheting. I wasn't knitting or cross stitching. I was crocheting and stamping and polymer clay making. We turned the 3rd bedroom into an office for him and a craft room for me, and so it was cool, because I couldn't work. I tried a lot of jobs, but they didn't work because of my memory. Because the accident triggered my fibromyalgia, and the brain damage triggered the short, long-term memory loss, the memory losses. Though fibromyalgia comes with brain fog anyway. So, and my back was constantly hurting, and it was not a very good time for me physically. But I enjoyed the apartment, and things were great, except we weren't making a lot of money. So we had to close the office because we had rented an office. We had to close the office because we couldn't afford that. And that's when we started getting behind on mortgage payments. And eventually, we used to go to Disney all the time. Oh, I love Disney World. I am just like a kid in a candy store when it comes to Disney. I really am. I become one of the children. It's just so much fun. And I'm a big Pooh lover. I love Winnie the Pooh and Stitch. Those are my 2 favorite characters. I have a Winnie the Pooh pillow and I have a Stitch pillow. And I hug them when I go to sleep. I still do now. Anyway, we had gone to Disney, and it was I think this was in 2000. We had gone to Disney, and something happened a few weeks later, and we had a little incident between us, and a week later he was gone. He had gotten a job outside the house by then. He was making good money as a developer, as a software engineer. And he walked out. He left. I was devastated. I was more upset at losing my best friend than I was at losing a husband. Ugh. Believe it or not. I don't know if you heard that. That was my roommate. He forgets that I was recording. What the heck? Where was I? Oh, yeah. I was more upset at losing my best friend because I had no clue that he was unhappy. I had no clue. We loved the same things. We both loved jazz. We both liked, computers. We both liked this. We both, we had a lot in common. We used to cook together. He taught me a lot about cooking, and I taught him about. He was Swedish, from Sweden, so he taught me a lot about Swedish cooking, and I taught him a lot about American cooking. It was nice. It was great. We had a good relationship, so I was totally blindsided when he left. Even went to therapy, and that didn't work out. At least for him and me. Did work out for me, but at least I learned a few things about myself. But that was it. I stopped crocheting, working with my stamps and working with any of my crafts at that time. I was working part-time, 4 hours a day, as a bookkeeper, which was very easy job because it's basically just data entry. So I could handle that. My brain can handle that. And I was I became very good friends, best friends, with the owner of the company, Lynn. I mean, we just got along, and we became best friends. So I was working there when he left, and I stayed a while. I did need a full-time job though, because I couldn't afford the apartment by myself. But then we had moved to a 2-bedroom, which was 1,400 square feet in the same complex. God, I wish I never moved out of there. That was a nice apartment. Of course, it's probably up to 1,800 now. A month. Woo! But my brother offered me a full-time job as his office manager for a cell phone store he was opening. And I told him, don't open the cell phone store. The market is saturated already. Of course, I was right, but he didn't believe me. He just wanted, we have contracts with Jackson Memorial Hospital and with this company and that company. The store is just gonna affront. But he opened up a double store thinking we'd get the service contract, which we didn't. But I worked for him for about, 7 years. From 2001 to about 2008. I didn't make that much money because my brother is cheap, but it was enough for me, and my mother passed away during that time, and she left me some money, so I wound up buying a house at the exact wrong time, right at the height of the bubble, and about a year, 2 years, 3 years before it busted, it broke, and we all lost everything. But by then, he had to close the store. We had moved to a smaller place, didn't help, didn't work. But we had to close the store. So that was, good old Wall Street. They did it by us good. I lost half my 401k. I lost most of my savings disappeared just trying to keep up. I took a lot of temporary jobs that just, again, the memory was difficult. I had a great job at a condo association. Associate, we're working for their condo. But again, my memory screwed up. I made one major mistake that I had to do. The boss told me under no circumstances am I to tell the president of the association how much we had in the bank. However, the president of the association is the one who hired my boss. So he's my boss. I was threatened to be fired from both places. Now my boss had gone on vacation. A nice 3-week cruise to Australia, which was, must be nice. And that's when he had told me that, but The president of the association comes down, demands to know this information. What am I supposed to do? I'm damned if I do and damned if I don't. When my boss comes back, I'm fired. That's it. I'm fired. No excuses, nothing. He would not accept that I had no choice. You know, I was either going to get fired by the president or fired by the building manager. Either way, that job was gone. It was, and of course it was in my 3-month trial period, so I couldn't collect unemployment. It was a mess. And that's when I tried applying for disability. It took a few years. They denied me. I appealed it. I had a roommate by then, Dan. Oh my God, he's the best in the world. He moved in around 2001, 2002, when I was still in the apartment, the 2-bedroom. And he moved with me to the house. And I waited a while. I kind of gave up, and I was going through my savings. Unfortunately, I mean, you got to pay the mortgage, you got to pay the electric, you got to pay the phone, you got to pay the TV, the cable. We moved to satellite because it was cheaper. Believe it or not, because it was bundled with our phone. Anyway, it got bad. And I was, especially when I lost my job, I had lost my jobs. I had done a whole bunch of, after that kind of thing, I had done a whole bunch of temporary jobs, worked for an attorney, of course. But I could not handle it. I did not realize until I started working full-time for other people how much my brother had been accommodating me and my disability. Because there were times that I was in such pain I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't. And he said, it's okay, work from home. So I'd log in and work from home. It was no big deal. The only thing I couldn't do was answer the phones. But we had other employees take care of that. And if it was necessary, I could always call them back. So it was, I didn't realize what he was doing. I mean, he even had a place for me to rest if I was there during the day and I had a flare up. He had a place where I could just sit back and rest. And I never realized how accommodating he was. Because the other employers, they knew I was disabled. I warned them in the beginning, that I was disabled. And how. But they just, I don't know. Maybe because I'm too good at interviews. Oh, yeah, that was fun. Okay, let's go on with this because this is probably getting boring. I know I'm getting bored. Suffice to say, I eventually got disability, but by that time, I hadn't paid the mortgage on the house because I was upside down $100,000. In other words, my house was worth $100,000 less than I paid for it and what I owed the bank. Which, yeah, thank you, Wall Street. The building, the real estate bubble bursted, and I had bought at the wrong time. And that was it. So we stayed until it was foreclosed, and then we scrambled to find an apartment we could afford. Because we figured out what we can afford, and we looked around, and we finally found this place, and I didn't really like it. It was a very tiny kitchen, and it's okay. I mean, you know, my bed fits. That's, my couch fits a little oversized, but it fits, you know. My dining table fits, and it's a lot oversized. I love this dining table. And we've been fine. About 3 years, I was, like I said, I was knitting and cross stitching and reading and watching TV. I watched a lot of TV. I mean, a lot. I recorded everything I wanted to watch. A lot of science fiction, a lot of police shows I liked. I would watch them over, you know, one after another. It was bad. I knew more about TV than I knew about anything else, which is sad when you think about it. And then I was on the computer looking. I was on Ravelry, which is a place for people who are into the fiber arts, whether you're knitting, crocheting, cross-stitching, whatever. It's a way to keep track of your, you know, they've got databases, so you can keep track of your stash, how much you have, what's left. You can keep track of your projects, how much you've done, if you're finished, if you're not finished, you know, and you take a picture of it. It's really nice, a nice place. But I was on AliExpress looking for cross-stitch patterns when I ran across this 5D diamond painting cross-stitch embroidery. This, I don't know why they do that, but what is this stuff? I go onto YouTube, I type in diamond painting, and a number of sites come up, a number of channels. So I'm watching and I'm saying, oh, it looks like fun, so I buy some. And after I did my first one, I was hooked. That was 3 years ago. I was hooked. Completely hooked. I stopped doing knitting. I stopped cross-stitching. I stopped watching TV. I became obsessed with this hobby. I love this hobby. And in case you're wondering, this is Stangler's Celestial Dreams with the dragons down here. See your little face. I'm almost done. I've got some more to go, but it's I can't talk anymore. I'm boring myself, guys. I don't know about you, but I hope we're having a good chat. At the very least, we can have a good chat. Anyway, I started meeting all of these creators, and around 2 years ago, around there, 2.5 years ago, thanks to Mrs. Coffee and Rachel Ray, I decided to open up my own channel. So here I am. I mean, but I'm doing this for fun. I'm not doing this for money. I would love more subscribers. I would love if somebody would donate. Down below in the description is Buy Me a Coffee link and Patreon link. Just hint, hint. Hey, come on, you know, it helps because for a long time, we're on fixed incomes, both of us are on Social Security. He's got a little bit more with his pension. And then his pension went down when he turned 65. Oh God, it was terrible. When he turned 68. 67? I don't know, 67. Something. It went down. And what was I saying? Uh-oh. 505. It's coming. It's coming. I forgot what I was talking about. Completely. And it's out of my head. It'll come back. Sooner or later. Alright, you are dealing with a mad woman. You should be aware of that. Like I said, my humor is very sarcastic. And most of the time I laugh at myself. Because what are you going to do? I could wake up crying or I could wake up laughing. I woke up crying for a long time. When we first moved in here, I spent a year in bed. I literally, that's it. I spent a year in bed, not even watching TV, not doing anything, just laying there. I had the TV on, but I was just laying there. Like, I was crying. You know, a lot of us have mental health issues. You know, I have a lot of anxiety also from the accident and everything else going on. And I was just laying there and I kept saying, I want to go home because I missed my house. I love my house. I had a beautiful craft room where I made jewelry, and I was learning how to become a jeweler, a real jeweler with melting silver and creating oh God, it was so much fun. But that's all gone. Because I don't have any room here. But anyway, I remember what I was saying. We had moved here about 6 months ago. I don't know, was it May? I think. Our landlord decided she wanted to sell the apartment, the condo. And we had a choice. We could either try and buy it, or we could move well out of the area because there's nothing in our price range. It's become very expensive to live here. And we could only afford so much, and we were paying her so little, which was almost at our peak. So she gave us a price, and we went to the bank and this and that. I was disqualified, but because I had to do a bankruptcy after the house was foreclosed. But my housemate now, he managed to qualify for the mortgage. And it makes our payments lower every month between the mortgage and the condo fees. So, you know, we have a savings there, which I'm not a lot. You know, it's just a couple $100, but it's better than nothing. And we're still able to survive. So I was pinching pennies, and that's one of the reasons why we had the money, because I've become very good at handling money, which is not like me. But I learned if you keep your eye on it, you can control it. So I keep my eye on it. And that's how we had enough money to put down a down deposit. We're now, he put the deed in my name and his name. So I own half the condo, but he's responsible for the full mortgage. God forbid anything happens to him. I hope by then I will qualify. I hope nothing happens to him, first of all. He's such a good guy. I could talk for hours about Dan. He's one of the best. I've been with him longer than I've been with any of my husbands. The first one 5 months, the second one 7 years, the third one 12 years. I mean, come on. It was, and he and I have been together since 2002. You figure it out. You know, 18, 19 years. That's a long time to be a roommate. Now, of course, we're housemates. Condo mates? Nah, housemates. But that's because he lets me take care of all his money. You know, we have joint accounts, and I take care of all the money. You know, he doesn't. He used to spend a lot. Now he doesn't. You know, if he wants to buy something, he can buy something. You know, we have credit cards, we have debit cards, and it's, you know, it's fine. Things are moving along nicely. Anyway, about I told you, about two and a half years ago, I opened up my channel, Mickey Sunshine Creates. I couldn't think of a name, but I wanted to keep Mickey Sunshine, which is my nickname on the internet, my handle, in almost every place I will have an account. I mean, my username is Mickey Sunshine almost everywhere. It's a funny story. My uncle used to call me Mickey Mouse because I was very little. I would most of my life I was very thin and tiny and shaped like a peanut. He used to call me Peanut, and then I got a little older, and he started calling me Mickey Mouse, and then cut it short to Mickey. So he calls me Mickey. He still does to this day. And Sunshine comes from the fact that when I was young, and this I remember my mother saying, when I was younger, my mother called me her Merry Sunshine because I always woke up with a smile. I'm one of those people, you know. Before my accident, I would wake up every day with a smile. I'm just happy to be here. You know, this is a lot of fun living. You enjoy your life however you can. You make the best of it. And my motto is, if it ain't fun, why bother? And if it ain't fun, make it fun. You could make anything fun. You can make anything into a game, you know, in your head. Really, I made bookkeeping into a game, you know. Used to challenge myself that I would get everything right the first time. Rarely won. I rarely won that game, but I played it, and I had fun playing it, which is why it didn't bother me to do all this stupid data entry, which could be boring to a lot of people, you know. And handling customer service. I figured you could attract more flies with honey than with vinegar. So instead of getting upset with support on the cell phones, and you got a lot of people who had no idea what they were doing, I was always cheery and happy and laughing, and I got them relaxed and happy and laughing, and they do almost anything for me. I could get almost anything done because I was a pleasant person. I might have hung up the phone and called them a bunch of names and cursed them out a bunch of times and called them idiots, and morons, everything else. But while I was talking and while I was on the phone with them, I was very nice. I get angry. It's not going to get you anywhere. It really isn't. If people got angry with me when they called me for help, I'd say, tell me no, I understand. If they cursed at me, I'd just hang up the phone. That I want to tell you. Don't curse at me. Don't use the F word. Don't use the B word. Don't curse at me. Because if you do, I'll hang up. So I would hang up. And because I tried to be as pleasant as I could. Like I said, I know, I understand your problem. Let me take care of it. I promise you. It's not going to be that bad. This is, we'll take care of it. And I did, because then I didn't, whatever. I was like a liaison between our customers and the cell phone support because they couldn't handle cell phone support. I had a rough time too. But then, like I said, the business closed. I lost my house. We moved into this apartment. I found diamond painting. I found YouTube. I started going on all of these diamond painting YouTube channels. And I started subscribing and I started making friends. And over the years, I have made quite a few friends. I have one bestie, crafting journey, Rebecca. She's my bestie. But I also have other friends, such as Jennifer Roberts, DP Addiction Adventures, and Marissa, Crafty Heifer, and Brandy from Mystria Diamonds, and I just Kara from The Principal Painter. You have a chance to see all of their videos too, either before or after me, and they're wonderful people, and they are my buddies. We talk, we chat, we giggle. We don't talk that often, you know. I talk with some people more often than others, but I still consider them my friends. They're more than acquaintances. Less than good friends, but more than acquaintances. So they're friends. And now, I don't make a lot of videos, which is probably why I don't have a lot of subscribers, because I don't do a lot of whipping chats because nothing happens to me. I mean, I'm boring. You know, what am I going to talk? I already talked about myself. So what am I going to talk about now? You know, what do I talk about next? I never know. So I have lives every Friday at 7:30 Eastern PM, and I do the occasional unboxing. I can afford more diamond paintings now than I did. They were very slow coming. And I'm determined to try and do some more whipping chats. I have no idea what to say. Like I said, because I can't tell you about my week, because my week was the same as last week. Probably be the same as next week. It's different, SOS, different day. It's the same old shit. It's just a different day. But I am enjoying it. Nowadays, I stopped watching TV when we first started locking down. What was it, March of 2020? I started, or was it 2019? I don't remember. Whatever. I started locking down, stopped watching TV then, because they'd stopped making new episodes for a while. So I got out of the habit of watching them after I finished the season. And there was nothing else to watch, so I stopped watching. And I'm not a big one on movies. I like TV shows. I did. Like I said, I don't watch any TV now. The only thing I will watch is YouTube. I put my buddies on watch later lists and whatever I want to watch, and I sit here and dive and paint, and I go watch the YouTube right here on my computer, and just you know, hang out, dive and paint, which I find very relaxing, and listen to my friends on YouTube. I learn things. I listen to other YouTube channels where I learn things and find and laugh and whatever. And then if there's nothing left, if I've finished all of my watch laters, which does happen, I will sometimes go on Zoom, because we have a Zoom meeting almost every day, and just go there. I keep company with people like Deborah and Erica, Sandra, Amanda, all those wonderful little people. I love them. I enjoy just talking with them. It's funny, I can easily talk and interact with other people. Let me do a whipping chat, and I'm like, what do I talk about? I know, I repeat myself. Like I said, boring. Anyway, I will watch Hallmark Channel, because we have Xfinity, so I can get Xfinity. I could get the TV stations easily on my computer. All my favorites are there, but I wind up watching Hallmark Channel, and it's just in the background. I don't pay attention to the movies. I'm just diamond painting and listening. And when I'm done diamond painting, I head into the bedroom, put Hallmark Channel back on, again at a low volume, and read. I've gotten hooked on reading all of these witchy, cozy mysteries. They're quick and fun and easy to read, and I'm obsessed with them. I got one through the next. I go through series. I'll go through the whole series. I'll read one. When I finish that, I got Kindle Unlimited. I'll pull up the other one, the next one, and I just keep reading. And I have 15 downloads on my Kindle now of sequels that I want to read. I have a list of a whole bunch of books that I want to read in my wish list. I have a wish list of books that are on Kindle Unlimited and on sequels that haven't come out yet. So I will put them in this list so I will remember to get them when they finally come out. I blame the fibromyalgia and the accident. It's brain damage. I had brain damage. I really did. I had a TBI. I did have skull fractures. And they did diagnose me with brain damage, mild to moderate. Anyway, it's getting late. I've got to end this. I may have cut it off earlier or cut out some parts because I've gone over now. I'm supposed to be at 58 minutes, and between the intro and the outro, I'm longer than 15 minutes. So I want you all to have a great Christmas. Enjoy it with your family and your friends. If you're alone, like me, because I don't celebrate, I'm Jewish, I don't celebrate Christmas. Watch the premieres that are here. You can always go back and watch them again. I believe they're in a playlist. I will try and put that playlist on my channel. Just knock yourselves out and have a good time. Be safe, be careful, be kind. And until the next time, arrivederci.